insecurity broadly is a very large topic to look at.
Yeah.
But yes, that's a robbery case actually happened in Katampe Extension.
Yeah.
And the circumstances with which different sides of the stories. You know, you pointed to whether coordination or some of the reports we read in the daily said before they got there, she had already given up,
yeah,
and all of that. So different stories, which is also another angle we need to look at. We're talking about insecurity here. I mean, disjointed story. When we were talking about coordination, the stories are mutilated.
Yeah.
The motives are totally different, and we're now pointing to government. A robbery case, robbery has been happening, my brother, in this country, left, right, and center. Are we always going to be pointing to government insecurity as all of that? We can also come back and say, oh, what is the cause of robbery? We can go back to hunger. Some can say it's poverty. Some can say it's XYZ. But there are some people that look, whether you like it or not,
give them anything.
I mean, give them anything. I mean, so again, we're still coming back to society. We're coming back to, if we want to go to the crux of the matter, brother, we're not going to leave this studio till the next tomorrow.
Yeah.
So yes, I agree. Insecurity can be part of the issue, but is it poverty? Or is it, again, when I come back to what I always will fall back to, value system, or what is it that people are looking for? I mean, you go from one building, from one flat to another. It's been happening.
Robbing people.
Yeah, so yes, when we get to dealing with it holistically, I agree, we get to coordination, we'll get to governance, we'll get to lifestyle, we'll get to many angles to look at this issue.
I am particularly worried that it's happening in the capital of Nigeria and seat of government, because I know that the Honorable Minister has done so much, provided logistics to all almost all the security agencies in the Federal Capital Territory and the rest of them. But again, this issue of quick response, you know, do we really have a number that you can call, and then what is the response time? That is one. And two, what is also the role of, you know, neighborhood association in curbing this? Because security is too important to be left in the hands of just security agencies alone. It's a whole business. It concerns everybody, and because it concerns everybody, we also expect that the people around that neighbors or that particular neighborhood should do something. What do you think should be the role of, you know, people in a particular estate and all that? Because I've come to realize that people just live on their own. You know, this man, well-wired house, fenced and everything, and he doesn't even know his neighbor, you know, and we see that, you know. So, again, what do you think we should be doing?
You see, sometimes I get a bit worried about our responsibility to our neighbors.
Okay.
In other clime, you may not be in talking terms. When I say in talking terms, there's no relationship.
Yeah.
But the minute he sees somebody tampering with your door, he calls the police.
Yes.
But you're not friends.
Yeah.
You don't have any relationship. But there's a common relationship that binds you all as citizens.
Okay.
And that is where we are supposed to hinge on.
Okay.
Most times, we don't even know what are our responsibilities as citizens of this great country. And that's why I mentioned in my opening remarks about the National Orientation Agency.
Okay.
You asked the question, which numbers can you call? You have the neighborhood watch all over, trying their own little best, especially during the period of reduced visibility, nights mostly. You see people locking, you know, barriers of streets and all that. That is the least they can do.
All right.
But beyond that, what else? If there's a robbery, you have 10, 15 robbers armed to the teeth. How can they stand them?
That's true.
And unfortunately, there are, I still keep saying, there are no central numbers. If there are numbers, are they being publicized on print and electronic media so that people will get used to it? It's not there.
Yeah.
So we need to sit down. Security, like you said, it's too important to be left in the hands of no one.
Yeah.
So you need to define responsibility. You need to define who are the key stakeholders. You need to define even the security agencies. What are their responsibility? And then where there are incidents, injuries from gunshots, or somebody is wounded, You've seen, especially some of them on social media, where you take somebody who is almost dying
to the hospital,
and the response is so sluggish, as if there's nothing at stake. To me, sometimes I feel deaths have become so common to the average Nigerian. No longer bother.
Yes.
And this is most unfortunate.
Really unfortunate, General. Okay, but let me come back to you, my brother, because this is really a big issue. You take somebody to the hospital, and the lackadaisical attitude of the health workers is something, and then again you still have a place where they will begin to tell you, oh, you need to bring the person's birth certificate, you need a letter from consent letter from the police and the rest of them. Why won't you save that person immediately before, at least give that person the basic first aid before you start talking about asking about money and so many things? Stabilize the person. What do you think about this situation?
I think General has said it all. Is the value of the premium we place on human life, especially in this country. And I totally agree with the fact that, okay, we have private hospitals, we have government hospitals. Well, some people see it as a business concern. So when you get there, first and foremost is money. The value is money, not the life of any person coming in there. I mean, yes, I know of a story on a lighter note where somebody went to the National Hospital and that person accepted, put to bed, the bills were coming, the person smuggled and left the hospital with the baby. And this is even a general hospital. But I'm saying that, okay, yes, still the issue of orientation, still the issue of the life, the value for human life we're talking about here. But if you allow me to flip a little bit on the other side of this discussion, the issue of insecurity and the robbery, and some of the security we're talking about, because of course I know we're coming to what we're going to be profiling. A chunk of the estate you mentioned, the gatemen we have there, the people we bring to our homes to come and work as plumbers, electricians and co, are probably even responsible for these robbery cases.
Nobody gets them.
The lifestyle we live, sometimes you have somebody you don't pay salary to, you are earning millions of money and the guy's pay is 20,000 naira money.
And you don't pay.
I was talking about value for money. You don't pay.
And you don't feed him.
Go out. So are we going to be pointing to security organizations only for not doing their responsibility? You have a role, we have a role. The value you place on that person you have that works for you, matters. So yes, I totally agree with you that before we even get to the hospital, before somebody is taken in there, I mean, this issue has been overflowed. Government, police have passed instructions. Government has they've always discussed the issue that no, treat people first. Again, it's business for the owner of the hospital and payments. I mean, on the broadcast stations here, that has become issues regularly and all of that. But let's get back to the basis first and foremost. The estate you mentioned, how are they recruited? Are they profiled by all security organizations? And those are issues we need to look at. You bring somebody, I mean, I heard of an unkind story that some people are recruited into some of these security organizations by sponsors of such crimes that we have no idea. So when they get in there, they have license to misbehave.
I will get back to that because, again, I talked about the recruitment process, not just in, the security agencies that we have here, or the ones that are licensed by the DSS, profiled by the DSS and licensed by Civil Defense. We're also talking about the military, the Army, Air Force, Navy, and the rest of them, the recruitment process. Because, last week we talked about the issue of fifth columnists, people within the security architecture that also give information to, these people outside. Well, we'll definitely come to that when we get to the issue of, profiling solutions to all the problems that we've discussed. But again, there is one particular issue that is really haunting Nigerians, and it's something that has become a recurrent decimal, and that is, vandalization of critical infrastructure. We will get to that, but like we always do, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll go straight to the issue of the management of critical infrastructure. Don't go away. The program is The Conversation. All right, welcome back. If you're just tuning in, you've not missed too much, but we are on the other half of the program right now. And the program is The Conversation. I have Major General James Salihu Atagube retired in the studios, and I also have High Chief Kindo Kabira in the studios with me, and we're looking at security, and we're looking at neighborhood watch and the things that we should do. But we're deviating a little from that, but it's still security. And here we're talking about national infrastructure. You know, we sit down and we ask government, oh, we pay taxes, we do this, and what is government really doing with our money? We're looking at transportation, rail transportation, for instance. Government spends so much money to make rail transportation easy for us. But what do we see? We see Nigerians, fellow Nigerians, go there to remove everything, from the sleepers to the boats, and the boats are not there and all that. This is something that I really can't understand. We had a serious situation along the Abuja-Kaduna road, and when you have rail derailing or train derailing from the rail tracks, and it's not because the things are not there. They are there. It's just that somebody has gone there, removed a few things, and then I just can't understand. General, you need to, because you've lived abroad, you were in the UN, you've been to so many countries. What is it about us? What is it about the Nigerian that we just can't explain? Things that are there for your comfort, you go. You don't mind if it's your brother, your sister, or even your son that will ride on that particular train.
This question you have asked, I've had people ask same question. What is wrong with us Nigerians? I tell you, there's absolutely nothing wrong with us Nigerians.
Okay.
What has happened is that those structures that are supposed to be in place to check the excesses of individuals are non-existent.
Oh.
Have you asked yourself, these same Nigerians live here to go to US and become perfect human beings? They go to UK. Why? Is the same man who is reckless, misbehaves anyhow, suddenly he goes to another client, he becomes reformed. The institutions.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you ask me, we need a total overhaul of most of our institutions.
Okay.
Every human being, has a tendency of doing the wrong thing.
Okay.
It is the fear of repercussion that keeps him sane. And so when that repercussion is not there, he doesn't see anything wrong with it. It's in this country you see everything happening because there are no consequences.
No consequences for our action.
So the minute, because how many times have those guys been arrested? You remember there was one that was even caught removing the manhole in Abuja city itself. It was publicized. After the first 1 week, 2 weeks, what happens? Everybody has gone to
Everybody is going back to business.
Nobody has said what happened to that individual. So from the moment he is apprehended to trial, a conviction, if it is not publicized, what stops the other man from going to do the same?
Oh yeah, because no consequences for
There are no consequences. And punishment are for two reasons. It has twofold.
Yeah.
First, to punish the man who has committed the offense, for him to know that he has erred. But the most important is the deterrence factor.
Yeah.
And that is what is missing. So when I say overhaul of the institution, judicial system, name it. Because you go to the judiciary, for instance, it takes forever. And that's why we are talking of people removing irons. What of people who are looting the entire country as if there's no tomorrow? You've heard of what happened in Abia. Yes, they say it's still under investigation. We're no longer talking of billion.
We're talking in terms of trillion.
What will an individual want to do with $1 trillion naira? You heard of the $7 million that was found in Providence Bank, and they said nobody
owns it.
And it was forfeited to federal government, and we were celebrating. Have people not gone scot-free? For God's sake. Did that money walk to the vault of Providence Bank.
No.
So what we're saying is, unless we get serious with governance, governance, it's not, you know, you don't toy with it.
Yeah.
Unless we get serious with governance.
Consequences for your action.
Very, very essential. Thank you.
Consequences for your action.
Yes, and last week General said something very profound. He talked about reward
system.
Systems,
Yeah.
which, well, in any case, it could be the other way around. Reward, I mean,
the carrot and stick, you know.
Yes, exactly. So, the million-dollar question you asked is what is wrong with Nigeria.
Yes.
And he said something that I tend to agree with, but I'm saying that it's rule of law, yes. The system, the structures are there, but those to enforce it are the problem. I'll share a short story. I went to speak to a group of people who wanted to establish a microfinance bank early 2000 or something. And so when I stood there, I told them, I said, this won't work. It's a church organization.
Yeah.
And I asked $1 million question. I say, suppose your child collects a 2 million naira facility from this microfinance bank and is arrested, and the penalty is for him to be executed. Will you as a chairman allow your son to be executed? And every place went quiet. Yeah. Because all of us will want to go and save that person, because when I'm talking about the reward system and the justice system, it's not as if the structures are not there. But the me, myself, and I system and theory and the theft and co. Who are the people patronizing Panteka? We're the same people going to Panteka.
Exactly.
Where these things are taken to there, you know this is...
And you know that they are stolen properties.
And you go and you buy from them. Are you not patronizing these people?
That's true.
And I do understand.
You're encouraging
it. I do understand. I had a security man in my house, and I traveled and left him there. He vandalized. He took all the cables worth some millions of naira. By the time he was arrested at the police station, and they were going to track him, they traced, they went down to Dede and all of that. I mean, people were coming to beg me that I should allow him, please, you are a pastor, you are that. I said, no, church didn't buy these things for me. And I insisted that no, the person should be funded. Even at that, at the end of the day, even when you think you have judgment, when it gets to even the so-called rehabilitation center, what do they call it?
Well, the criminal justice system.
There again is another matter. The compromise sets in there. You see, I still come back to, I'm sorry to say, how do we term this value system? We grew up in a society where even when you were sent on an errand and you came back with change, and our parents then will ask you, where did you get this money from?
Definitely.
You have to take it back. Today we have people frolicking around town. Nobody knows what they're doing. They are driving mighty big cars. That's not a justification for anybody to go and steal. But what do you say about a road that you are saying is government is bad? Is it sabotage? Is it all of that? Let's not even go to look at what's happening concerning even the Pengerson story and Dangote today with the private business and a cabal seated somewhere. So it's a whole mix.
They're becoming even more bold.
I'm telling you. So people to go out and move boats, where are they taking them to? when coins were brought to this country, I remember that time, Naira coin, you remember? People were collecting coins to go and sell. Let's do this start today.
All right.
Our Naira today.
But that's what we're saying there. I think they're showing it there on the screen there. You see, Nigerians actually went to the rail track to remove all the boats. I mean, it doesn't make sense. If you remove those are the things that actually stabilizes the rail track. So you remove them, and then there is an accident. You know the number of people that will be killed in this thing.
You see, General, it's as simple as that.
Yes.
You remember in those days when people were being executed for drug trafficking, did it stop or it didn't? It didn't. Even if it didn't stop completely, it sent shivers. It sent shivers. When somebody is caught at the airport with cocaine or anything, you think he's dead already. Yes. You understand? That is a deterrence factor. True. Sometimes we have come to believe that democracy means, according to Fela, demonstration of grace. It shouldn't. You see, the U.S., which we always point to when it comes to democratic norms, the U.S. is one of the most policed countries in the world. You make a mistake, you pay dearly for it. So we must firm up our institutions. We must find a way of doing it. And before I just land, I want you to also know that most of the problem are the elites themselves. Those who are in a position to know what is wrong and what is right are the ones that perpetuate this evil.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen, because my director is telling me that we have just 2 minutes to round off. You know, anytime we start talking, we 2 hours will not be enough to do this thing. But then I think we still have to come back, because it's something that we'll continue to talk about to see how this country will go. Just before you have just a minute, General, to round off. You've told us all the problems, the solutions. Government is listening.
The solution is simple.
Yeah.
Begin to look at the institutions.
Okay.
It's as simple as that.
All right.
And virtually all these institutions I'm making reference to have, people who have served meritoriously and retired.
Yes.
Get them to X-ray and look at the various institutions.
Okay.
Armed Forces of Nigeria, all other this thing, and let them come up with workable solutions. Let me not end this program without acknowledging the immense sacrifice of the Armed Forces of Nigeria.
Okay.
They bear the greatest burden of whatever is happening in the country today, and they are the fallback position for the country.
Okay.
Courtesy of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, we have at least relative peace.
Yeah.
Take that out of the equation, and we are finished. So we must pay tribute
to
the Chief of Defense Staff, the various service chiefs, and the officers and men of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, so that at least they know we appreciate what they are doing, so that they can even do more.
And I think that cuts across all the security, our security architecture,
exactly.
the DSS, police, and the rest of them, because you guys are our pride. We're extremely proud of the security architecture, and the truth is we can't do without you.
Exactly.
Your parting gift.
Well, okay, there's a study by sociologists called the 7 mind motors. And that means those who influence our society, our attitude, and what we do. And I remember recently, I don't know which of the regime, there's all this popular saying and slogan, change begins with me. Or
yeah.
And like, I agree with the fact that the elites are responsible. But you see, that thing starts from your house. If you have to find a shortcut to take your son from primary school to secondary school, bribe his way to go do NYC, pay for him to be posted somewhere, we're instilling a shortcut mentality in
the child.
Already fraud.
Exactly.
So it starts with us. We can fix this thing without just pointing to just the structures. Humans dignify. I dignify what I'm wearing. What I'm wearing does not dignify me. So we are the citizens in this country. The change begins with us. And
the change begins with you and I.
The hood does not make the monk.
Well, it's on this note that we round up today's episode of the program, The Conversation. We thank you very much for investing your precious time with us. You heard them. The panelists have said it all. Change begins with you. What are you doing in your own corner to make Nigeria great? Thank you very much for watching. My name is Salihu Ibrahim Kindo. Have a pleasant day ahead.
Into current affairs and global issues.
It essentially features in-depth interviews with influential figures,
with the principal aim of stirring up thought-provoking discussions and comprehensive analysis of complex topics.
The Conversation focuses on pressing global issues,
from current affairs to international politics,
global security to international peace and conflict resolutions,
science and technology to economics and politics.
It is The Conversation.
The Conversation seeks to provide